rise and unite, fueling the passion, igniting the light. Through highs and lows, we'll stand as one, a legacy, a tale that's just begun. Together we roar, together we roar. Detroit Lions will rise, with a heart full of dreams and the fire in our eyes. From the past to the future, we'll claim our road. In the home of the brave, we'll proudly have grown. So let's lift our voices, let's turn it up loud. For the love of the Lions, we'll always be proud.
Oh, what is happening? Welcome into Rock On Detroit Lions. I was trying to digest what I just read before I came on. I didn't even know how I was going to start this, but I was all excited to see that Hank Fraley is leaving, just to find out not even 60 seconds ago that we just lost one of our coaches. Antoine Randall is now headed over to Chicago to that traitor son of a bitch, Ben Johnson. Excuse my language, but didn't he just say the other day he wasn't poaching anybody from the Lions staff? Didn't he just say that? We know Aaron Glenn said it, but I have a feeling Aaron Glenn would mean it. You know, and just like Hank Fraley said, or his wife said today, did you really think that we were going to go to Chicago? I don't know. Maybe you just didn't get the gig. Maybe Antoine Randall beat you out, but I'm glad Hank is back. 1,000%. Love the dude. He's like a giant teddy bear, and the dude just gets the job done. I am extremely excited that he's back. This offensive line is going to have their continuity, which is the biggest part of this Lions offense right now. Without the offensive line, we're going to struggle. You know, any team would. But Hank Fraley's been a big part of that. But yeah, Ben's a snake. Good words, Chris. Good words. He's an absolute snake. Antoine Randall, in my opinion, has been a big part of this receiving crew. A big part of why J-Mo is stepping up and why, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown has really taken off. He's been a big part of this team since day one. I don't understand why the Lions can't keep these pieces together. I don't know. Maybe it's the money. Maybe it's more money for Antoine Randall. Maybe how would you not want to work with Amon-Ra St. Brown? How would you not want to be a part of that success? I mean, he's been a big part of it already. Let me get this in here. Let me see if I can get this loaded up. So tonight we are going to do the Wheel of Names. We have a couple of things that we have to give away. And I want to make sure we get that done tonight. So it's already loaded up and ready to go. Oh, man, this burns me up. Antoine Randall. Really, dude? I just don't get it. As of a few minutes ago, this is about an hour, but it's literally a few minutes ago, Chicago Bears hiring former Detroit wide receiver coach Antoine Randall. Goes on to say that the Detroit Lions coaching staff has been raided by numerous franchises across the league. Former offensive coordinator Ben Johnson moved on to the head coach of the Chicago Bears. And on Friday evening, the Bears poached yet another Lions assistant, making former Detroit wide receiver coach Antoine Randall their new assistant head coach and wide receivers coach. Now, you know, what sucks here is, I mean, I guess it doesn't suck. Here's what's going to happen. I mean, does Antoine Randall have any aspirations to become a head coach? I don't know. And I don't know when it would happen for him. But he's moving up. I mean, he's clearly getting a promotion. And I think that's, you know, that's part of it, right? He's getting a promotion. I understand it. You know, Hank Fraley who was considered for a potential offensive coordinator position for Chicago Bears and also in Seattle, is staying home. Like, he's staying here. He's staying here for year 8. And this is coming from Dave Burkett and others, obviously. Let me pull this one in. Man, Ben Johnson, he's begging for it, man. You know what they say, though? Like, you can't fix stupid, right? You know that saying that you can't fix stupid? I don't think you can fix Chicago. I really don't. They are such a mess. But I guess, Ben's got as equal of a chance as everybody to try to fix Chicago. All right, so from the Detroit Free Press, here we go. It says Detroit offensive line coach Hank Fraley not leaving for Chicago. His wife said on a Twitter post a while back. I was away from the house, otherwise I would have tried to break it to you guys, the great news, because that is huge news for us to have offensive linemen back in the house. Offensive line coach Hank Fraley back in the house, getting ready for year 8. So Fraley was seen as a possible non-play calling hire for Johnson, and I didn't understand that. Like, so Johnson wants to call plays, and he wanted to bring Fraley in just to kind of be a statue. I don't really know. But anyway, he's staying in town. He could be an option for the Lions at some point to be an offensive coordinator. Not real sure if or when that would happen. Now, I heard earlier that Fraley was getting some sort of a promotion, but I don't know what this promotion is. I haven't seen anything yet, and that's my bad because I haven't spent a whole lot of time researching. Tonight was just kind of last minute. Let's jump in and do this thing and give away this JMO jersey and the Panay helmet. Have a quick conversation, talk about Hank Fraley, talk about everything that's happened today, kind of scan the interwebs for any news. And that's about it. I'm definitely going to take a relaxing weekend, I hope. I might stream one of the games. I might not. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of at that moment right now at the season where it's like, I know I've got all this grinding to do between now and the draft, and I might need to take my siestas when I can. Let me get into the chat here. Let me get you guys pulled up. So I guess my first question for you guys tonight is, and in the chat, comments down below and later, what is your overall thought on Hank Fraley staying? How critical of a piece do you feel that is? Because I feel between Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, even Kevin, if Kevin does come back for another season, Mahogany obviously playing at such a high level in his first season, 6th round pick playing at such a high level in his first season. I think that he is more of a critical piece to this offense than what people understand, what people notice. So I think it's a much bigger move for the Lions than what meets the eye. Yeah, Bees9 says Benedict Johnson wanted all the glory. Well, you know what? He's going to get all the smoke now. He's getting it all. I listened to the St. Brown podcast today, or at least the highlight was like 9 minutes of it, where they were talking about Ben Johnson and how he said to Ben, "Well, we're just going to F you up now twice a year when I see you." And Ben's like, "Well, I'm going to F you up, ha ha ha." And Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't seem very happy. And then right after that, he called him a traitor, but they have a great relationship. I don't think that St. Brown's necessarily pissed at him, but I think that St. Brown has enough competitive spirit and competitive edge that it's all game, man. He knows all of his tendencies. He knows how he likes to call plays. So those are things that we're going to be able to use against Ben, because Ben's not going to know what we like to do. The only thing that Ben is going to know is, okay, well, what does St. Brown do on this break? Or, where is he at on this break? Or when does he like to break at 7 or 12 or 10? Or, where is St. Brown's, favorite plays? Where does he like to, where does the space that he likes to find on the field? You know what I mean? He'll know all of the little nuances to St. Brown, but it's tougher to stop an athlete, as opposed to stopping a coach. You've got 11 guys that can stop a coach versus, one guy trying to give out all of St. Brown's secrets or all of Jahmyr Gibbs' secrets. It's just not, I don't think it's going to happen. Saint is professionally pissed off. That's a good way to put it, Theodorio. Better the Hunt says, I'm willing to bet there was friction between the coaches and Benedict Johnson. I'm thinking he is going to be way over his head. So that's interesting that you just said that, the friction. So earlier this morning, there was a report that per a source, unnamed source, of course, that there was friction inside Detroit between Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell. I don't know about all that. I haven't heard or seen anything. I've never noticed it myself at any games not that you would notice a lot there. I think we would have heard something by now. You would have thought something would have leaked somehow, some way. Not after Ben goes to Chicago. Ben going to Chicago, I don't care what team it is. Ben was gone. He was out. And the thing that St. Brown confirmed, which I'm glad that St. confirmed this because it lends to credibility of what I was thinking about Ben. I never gave him a shot in Chicago because I didn't think he would do such a dickbag move and head to Chicago. I never thought that he would do that. But the other two top teams was Jacksonville and the Raiders. That makes me feel better that I at least thought that the right fit for Ben was those two teams. Something about Chicago apparently changed his mind. Maybe they just made the pot a little too sweet. Sometimes all it takes is just one more dollop of honey and you're good to go, I guess. But he's going to have some struggles over there, without a doubt. Chris, what a shot at Ben from Hank's wife. Absolutely. Let me read that again. Let me go back to X here. Let me pull this up and let's look at some of the things that are being said about Hank Fraley. I got my screens all screwed up today, so bear with me here. All right, let me see if I can fix this real quick. Okay, here we go. So earlier today, obviously there's Brad Holmes Bulge up in the house. He says, according to Frank Haley's wife, he's running it back in Detroit. And that was Danielle Fraley right there. Year 8 loading. Did you guys really think we would leave for Chicago? Our hearts are in Detroit. Well said. Well said. Brad Golly followed that up. We've got Hank Fraley staying with the Lions. Dan Campbell is promoting, there it is, Fraley to the run game coordinator and offensive line coach. So he's going to add run game coordinator to his list of duties this season. So that'll be interesting to see what happens this next season. The big dog, Hank Fraley, stays in Detroit as he's being promoted to the run game coordinator. Then, of course, Tom Pelissero. Lions are promoting Hank to the run game coordinator, offensive line coach per the source. An important piece of the puzzle staying in Detroit. Huge piece of the puzzle. Huge piece of the puzzle. And then this one I thought was funny. My dentist knew Hank Fraley was staying. He always was staying, or was always staying. Props to my dentist. You're the most reliable source. Now flash your pearly whites. I mean, come on now. Come on now. My dentist knew. Come on now. Whatever. That's funny, though. All right. What else we got popping today? Anything else you guys seen? I know I had a few messages today I never got back to, so I apologize. Oh, and my bad. Yes, there was supposed to be a video about Golston. No idea what I did. Apparently, I uploaded something. Wasn't a video. So it's uploaded now, but I'll drop it tomorrow. It's already too late. I'll drop it tomorrow. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to see if Kelvin was our wide receivers coach. He'd just be stoned all day. He'd just be eating gummies on the sideline. No idea who the OC is yet or the DC. So, they're trying to bring in Larry Foote. And, if they can bring in Larry Foote, the interesting thing about poaching all of the Tampa guys, and I said it this morning in the morning show, is I'm wondering, are we going to go into some sort of a hybrid defense? Are we going to stay in the 4-3? Are we going to make a minor adaptation and somehow either add some 3-4 looks or go to a 3-4? I don't know. I don't think that we have the personnel. I know we don't have the personnel to run 3-4. We don't. We just don't. So we would have to totally scrap what we're doing right now. I mean, we got the man corners at least. We got the safeties, but we don't have the outside linebackers. We would have to go to 4 linebackers, which means we'd have to get a lot more linebackers in a hurry. I don't see us doing that. I mean, now with the depth that we have on the defensive line and the guys coming back, I don't really see us making a jump to the 3-4. So maybe we add a little bit of some 3-4, to this defense. Get into a couple of looks, I think would help us. It would have helped us big time against, Jaden Daniels in that RPO system. If we would have had 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers, kind of what I was asking for throughout the week was, can we just go to a 3 down, lineman look, a few times throughout the game to put the pressure, on Jaden Daniels in the run game, and we just didn't do it. But we'll see what happens. Steve Wild says Rex Ryan's son will be our new wide receiver coach. Interesting. I forgot we have a Rex Ryan's son on our squad, don't we? In the coach room. Okay, according to Ben Johnson, so this thing on friction, this was just put out by the Heavy about 13 minutes ago, and I got to fill this thing out. Hold on. There we go. Anyway, according to the Heavy, Ben Johnson had this report on, or his 2 cents on this friction that was reported. So it says the Detroit Lions are splintering since so many of their staffers have already taken positions with other teams just days into the offseason. Now, among the biggest losses was losing offensive coordinator Ben Johnson to the Bears and obviously Aaron Glenn to the Jets. And amid all the staff leaving Detroit, there's been some talk of possible friction in the organization. And now Johnson is responding to that talk. Now, according to Johnson, this was on Wednesday, January 22nd. It was on an episode of Woodward Sports that this sports personality on the Big D Energy, Neil Rule, talked about Johnson leaving the Lions. He mentioned that he chatted with a pretty good source about the team's current situation. I got a phone call yesterday, quote, from a pretty good source, covers the National Football League, end quote, Rule said on the show. And then another quote, he had a lot of interesting things to say about the Lions coaching movement, all of that stuff, end quote. And then Rule said, quote, Ben Johnson stuff that he told me about was a little more interesting, was that there was potentially some friction in the organization with Ben Johnson, with Dan Campbell, to the degree that he might not have been back regardless this year. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not going to call anybody out, but here's what I'm going to say. If you have a source, okay, and you cover something, I don't think that the answer would be potentially. Like, if the source is really good, like you said, I got a call yesterday from a pretty good source that covers the NFL. And that individual had a lot of interesting things to say about the Lions coaching movement. But then you follow that up with, he told me about potential friction. Potential. There either is or there isn't. There is no potential. There either is or there isn't. You are either told from a very direct source that has knowledge about the situation that there is friction, that this happened on this date or these dates, that there was a problem, or there wasn't. If your source is saying that there's potential, then I don't think your source knows a damn thing, or there is no source. Just saying. There is no potential. So I've never heard of this, and again, Johnson, not that I would, but Johnson also said, I've never heard of that before in my life, responding to this, this conversation that was had. He said, the guy is one of my best friends, talking about Dan Campbell. He is a mentor of mine, and I view him like family. So, I mean, there you go. That's straight from Ben. I don't know if anyone's had the opportunity to ask Dan Campbell directly, but I will say this. Whether there is or isn't friction, Dan nor Ben would probably admit it. Not now, maybe later, but who cares, right? I mean, not everybody gets along all the time. When you're in a situation, like the Lions were this season, pretty stressful. You got a lot of guys injured, pretty stressful. There's a lot going on in that Allen Park there. But not a lot of it was Ben Johnson's issue throughout the season. I would say the only thing that I would have friction with Ben Johnson about if I was the head coach would be just hand the frickin' ball off, dude. Like, what are you doing? Hand the ball off. Quit putting Jared Goff in these situations. So, yeah, Steve Wilds, I'm with you, buddy. Yeah, the source, Scott, I have no idea who the source is. I didn't put it out there. I don't know who the source is. Steve, you don't think that Randall L was all that? I do, man. I think that he's been great. Honestly, he's been huge. We've had some of the best receivers in the game, but you know what? Now we're going to have somebody that's going to come in and not take any BS, though. I mean, whoever it's going to be, whether it's a promotion or an external, they're going to have a very good approach with JMO. I mean, that is going to be, I hate to use the word fragile, but I think that JMO is one of those type of players that, like, he can have a bruised ego probably pretty quickly, and or you've got to just kind of nurture him a little bit. You know what I mean? You've got to walk on eggshells, but at the same time be stern with him. It's like this weird, I don't know. I think that JMO, you got to have this weird dynamic with him. Because he wants to be the best. He can be the best. He has all the tools in the world, but then he does something stupid. So you kind of got to rein him in, but then let him go at the same time. I don't know. I think you guys know what I'm saying. And I think JMO's going to be fine, by the way. I think he's going to be fine. I don't know that any of the Lions fans locally want any Ohio State University coaches. You know who I want, though? I just want the best. I just want the best of the best that we can get. I don't care what school they come from. I don't care what team they come from. I just want the best. Yeah, Chris, you're exactly right. So Chris Mick says, JMO's body language was not great last game. It wasn't. He not only looked deflated, he looked like he just totally gave up, especially in the last 3 or 4 minutes of that game. Yeah, Randall L is gone. He's gone. He's off to Chicago. J-Man, I don't know if it was between Ben and JMO. I mean, the report that this guy Neil said, it was friction between Ben and Dan. The TD dance was a huge FU to someone. I never thought about it that way. Could be. I guess it could be. Maybe JMO knocked up one of the coach's wives. I'm just kidding. Bad joke. Yeah, I wish Teddy would come back, but Teddy loves to coach his high school kids right now. That's what he's all about. Scott says Ben actually stole a lot of them trick plays from other teams. We just ran them plays better than they did. The one play he stole from Green Bay, dude is just a snake in the grass. I mean, it is a copycat league. I mean, everyone's stealing something. It's not like this game hasn't been played for 100 years. I mean, we've seen just about everything time and time and time again. You know, you get a new wrinkle or twist into something here or there. And I think that's about it. But I think the large majority of, the plays that we see, they've all been done before. They just look a little different, because guys are bigger, faster, stronger now. Keep cruising or keep crushing says, I was listening when he said that, and I called BS on his source and take. I feel there was something, but he wasn't going anywhere unless he was leaving. Yeah, I don't really think Ben was going anywhere either, unless he was leaving himself, to your point. If he wanted to stay, he probably would have stayed. I mean, you'd be dumb not to keep your crew together. Little disagreements can be worked out. We absolutely can. Riley, good to see Riley, and says whatever friction existed, if any, was mild enough to win 15 of 17 games. I think Will is right. It's normal in business. I think it's a non-story. Personally, Johnson was always going to be a head coach. Yeah, it was all on his shoulders. Shaft says Drew Brees has been hanging around the last couple of games. Where was Drew Brees at? Was he hanging out at the games? I had no idea. I wonder if Drew Brees would ever get into coaching. Let's see. J-Man says, I wish our coordinators could have left without all of the backhanded compliments and turmoil rumors. Definitely gives credit to CJGJ Jr. comments about us turning quickly. Sadly, we could be better, bigger people. I agree. I mean, I think our initial knee-jerk reaction 2 days after, we find out, we lose, and then he goes to Chicago. It's like, wait a second, what? Why would you do that to us? Take the interview, fine. But to go there when you had a perfect opportunity in Jacksonville and an even better opportunity with the Raiders, I mean, if he really thinks that Caleb Williams is the answer, he's out of his mind. Caleb Williams is going to be a problem over and over and over. Caleb, and you know what? When Caleb Williams wins more than 10 games in a season, maybe 11, no, we'll go 11 games. When he wins more than 11 games in a season and makes it to the playoffs, I would be surprised on their own accord if they don't need a bunch of help from people. I just don't see Chicago doing it. I think that it's just going to be a mess. I really do. It is a snake move. Full State Farm says Caleb Williams 5 TDs, 0 interceptions versus the Lions. I don't like him, just saying. Well, I mean, every dog has his day, right? I did not see the clip with Williams in his hands in his pocket after he threw the interception. What the hell is that all about? Why would he have his hands in his pocket? What pockets? Like in his pants? I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. But let's get a couple of things given away real quick. The hand warmer? Why would he have a hand warmer in Ford Field? No, you haven't missed anything yet, Brandy. We're just talking about random stuff. Anyway, no, I didn't see that. All right, we got JMO jersey or any jersey to give away and a Penei Sewell helmet to give away. Let me get this thing dialed up here and we'll get rolling. Okay, so as you guys know, we give away mini helmets signed by Panay Sewell and Chris Spielman every 250 subscribers. Please do us a favor if you have not subscribed to the channel. Please just step out of the chat for just a moment, slide over, hit that subscribe button, as well as smash the like button real quick for us. If you guys get us up to 75 likes, we'll turn the ads off, no problem. Prefer not to run ads during the live stream. And we'll turn them back on at the end. Now, what we're about to do is we had people that donated to our raffles for the Rock On Cancer Foundation. Now, the raffles, I'm going to continue to run them throughout, the whole year. It's not just, during the season. I'm going to continue to run it throughout the whole 365. We're just going to do it. We'll keep finding new products and okay, looks like my mic is added there. All right, we'll keep finding new products to add. But right now, let's dial up this Panay Sewell mini helmet. Everybody's name has been added into the wheel of names that donated. So the only way that you can get into these is if you donate on buymeacoffee/rocked on, ROCKEDON. I don't have anything up right now. The only thing that's up right now is coffee and donations to the Cancer Foundation. Take a break for a week or two, and then I'm going to add some more raffles, and we'll just do them like monthly raffles or something. Now, last year during the NFL draft, my draft party was not as big as the first one I did. I don't know why, but I gave away 8 jerseys last year. 8 jerseys to just random people. And so I want to do it again this season, but I want to give away 20 jerseys. So we really need to crank up the party, and I'm going to have to do it somewhere live. I don't want to do it from here. I want to do it somewhere else. So we'll have to figure that out. We'll do a full draft party. So anyway, if you guys bought raffle tickets to the Panay Sewell mini helmet giveaway, then your name should be in here, but I'm going to shuffle up the names. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we are going to spin. I have no idea who this person is, but I do know that that was part of an email. So whoever you are, I have your email, and I will send out an email to you if this individual does not claim their prize, within a week or so, then I'll have to figure something out. I don't know who this is. I honestly don't. I've never seen this name pop up. And maybe they just donated to donate, but if you guys know who it is, please let them know. So congratulations to whoever you are. All right, next up, let's do the any jersey. Now, the way that jersey of choice works is we usually just send you a gift certificate to your email, and then you will be able to order whatever jersey you want. Okay, so next one is jersey of choice. Again, if you bought tickets, you are in. You can't buy tickets tonight. That's Ben Johnson's email. That's funny. Yeah, well, I got something I'm going to send to Ben Johnson. Don't you worry. We're going to have some merch made for him specifically that we're going to be wearing here pretty soon. All right, let's shuffle it up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and spin. Call it Lions? Cali Lions. Cali Lions. You won the jersey of choice. Congratulations, Cali of Lions. I've never seen that name either. So let me get a picture of that. Thank you to all the people that donated. You guys always have done an excellent job at donating to the Rock On Cancer Foundation. Super appreciate you guys. We're going to continue to grow. We got a long way to go. June 1st is going to be here in no time, and we've got a long way to go to get to our 50K goal, and hopefully we can get there. We're going to have some golf tournaments. We're going to be doing, I'm going to be partnering up with some people that are going to be doing the merchandise for us. And in the golf tournaments, we're going to have a lot of blind auctions and things like that. And hopefully get the whole day's events. As, all the money that comes in will be able to get donated to us, or a large portion of it will be able to. So I'm working with some people on this side of the state over in the Grand Rapids area. And then I'm going to try to get one organized over on the east side of the state, because we've got a lot of people that listen on both sides. I want to make sure that we can do it. Maybe we'll do it right in the smack dab in the middle in Lansing. We'll bring all you Michigan fans to MSU. We'll go golf there at MSU. Just kidding. Maybe. Anyway, congratulations to all the winners. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone that's donated throughout the year. You guys have been great. It's been fun doing this. And pretty soon we're going to be able to help out some people. Like, that's the goal. We're going to be able to help out some people and continue to grow this thing. Bees9 says, Ben is a computer software guy, doesn't fit in with the Lions identity. What? He's a brainiac is what he is. Ben's a smart dude. Look, as much as we dislike the fact that Ben Johnson did what he did, you got to give the guy a pat on the back. I mean, he led one of the most prolific offenses. Yeah, I kind of said it myself that I think that the offense would have been able to do what they do, right? Do what they did. I don't think that there's any reason for us to believe that without Ben Johnson, if he was sick or if he had to go away for a couple of weeks, that we still wouldn't have been able to win ball games, that we still wouldn't have been able to call the same plays. Maybe the order of plays would be a little bit different. Maybe the scheming would have been a little bit different. But I still think that this Lions offense is going to put up 33 points a game next year, maybe more. I don't think that we're going to have a problem. And if Brad Holmes does what I hope he does, which is go out and get another, wide receiver that is Tim Patrick's size, but way more skill level. And now we've got a triple threat there with J-Mo, Amon-Ra, a third wide receiver, and Gibbs and Monty. And you still got Khalif Raymond back there returning, but then we're going to be doing some serious damage. And you got Sam Laporta, and you still got Brock Wright. I think we'll be all right. So I think we have to get that next level wide receiver, the 6'4" guy that's 225, 220, Calvin Johnson size, that can run. And I'm not saying we need another Calvin Johnson exactly, but just somebody bigger, more boundary guy, somebody that Goff can hit in the end zone. In the corners, and a guy that can, body out and get pass interference calls, which we never get. Keep Crushing says we need one more wide receiver. That's funny, dude. Both thinking about the same thing. That's funny. B. Dobson says Grand Haven native, been away since 71, back for 2 years and then off to the Navy in 76. So where are you at now, B. Dobson? Let's see. Riley O'Brien says he chose the Bears as his best fit. Many Lions fans think it's a bad move. So let's go beat them twice a year. Yeah, I think that we'll beat them twice a year for sure. For sure. Especially this year. You know what I hope happens in the first meeting? I hope that Ragnow scores a touchdown and Decker scores a touchdown and Penny Sewell scores a touchdown. I hope they all score a touchdown. Hope they all do. Is Cooper Kupp washed up? Man, that rhymes. Isn't he a free agent? I think he's a free agent. I mean, he's probably going to want a boatload of money, but I don't think he's really washed up. I mean, Cooper Kupp does Cooper Kupp things. I'll get into more real free agency stuff next week. So right now I've been highlighting some of the free agents that are coming over as a potential from the coaches that we're bringing in. And right now, Cooper Kupp is, well, let's see here. No, he's under contract. There was a potential out in 25 with a dead cap number of $22.26 million. So, no, he's not a free agent. He's not a free agent. So today I highlighted a couple of individuals that I thought might make a little sense. Now, Levante David, He's older, right? 34 years old. But when we look at our linebacker room, that has been depleted by injuries this season. I mean, everybody got injured, between Jalen Reeves-Maybin to Derek Barnes to Malcolm Rodriguez, Alex Anzalone at a time there. We lost everybody. We were down to Jack and Ben Nyman and Trevor Nowaski. I mean, that's what we had. I think that if Levante David doesn't want to retire and if he doesn't want to go back to Tampa for another year on a 1-year deal, or if he doesn't want to retire, would he take a chance to go elsewhere? I don't know. And would he do it at a good enough rate that it could be benefit the Lions? Is it somebody that you would bring in? Does he fit? I think he would fit. And I think that when you bring in guys like, Casey Rogers, and if Foote does come to the Lions as a DC, they're going to want to bring some of these guys with them. They're going to try to bring some personnel. And what's better than taking a free agent that you don't have to, give up cap for, you don't have to give up the draft capital for. I mean, you can just bring him. You can just sign him to a contract. He'll be a free agent here in just a little over a month or so. So I think it makes sense to have a veteran. I don't think that there's going to be, any chippiness or issues between him and like Alex Anzalone or Jack Campbell. I mean, they're all alphas. Everybody playing football is an alpha. So I think that it could fit. And then the other guy is Will Golston. Now, he has ties to Michigan because he's a former Michigan State alum. So he can, come on back and finish out his career in Michigan. He's from the southeastern side of Detroit area. It's another guy that's 32, 33 years old, I think. He spent like 10 seasons in Tampa, and might be an opportunity because of Aleem McNeil. And when we think about Aleem McNeil having to probably sit out at least until November is the guess right now, until we hear anything in the next few months as far as how his rehab is going. Well, the Lions might be down one of their most dominant defensive tackles, and it might be time to bring in another one. Yep, I know. Not just an edge rusher, but we might need to bring in another defensive tackle that can start but be a game wrecker. So Aleem was more of our pass rushing style of a defensive tackle. DJ Reader is more of the run stuffing defensive tackle. And I think that it would behoove the Lions to bring in another guy that can step up and fill in for Aleem McNeil while he's getting healthy. And then when Aleem is able to play, it's a guy that, is either on a 1-year deal that we don't have to worry about in another year, and he can go to a rotational role when Aleem finally gets in, or maybe he sticks around. But both of them look pretty good as an option. They're older, but they're not too old, and they're still playing at a pretty good clip. Now, Golston only played about 18% of snaps this year, so he should be well rested, and I would hope that he can go more than 18%. Benz Johnson says, hello from Chicago, everyone. All right. What else we got going on? Anything going on that you guys... Okay, so Khalil Mack. What do I think about Khalil Mack? So, I mean, Khalil, I would say this. I would never have traded for him, just like Brad Holmes didn't do. I would have never wasted any draft capital. And at one point, his contract was so high, it never made any sense, right? And that's exactly why Khalil Mack was never brought into Detroit. Brad Holmes is not going to F them picks, and he's not going to spend, $20-30 million on a linebacker or an edge rusher. He's just not going to do it. So in 2025, his cap hit right now is $8.872 million, of which it's a void year. So that's all going to go back to the team. He's an unrestricted free agent. And now that he's an unrestricted free agent, that does change things. So last year he made about $10 million for one season. He had a restructured proration. He had a signing bonus proration. And then he had a base salary of about $1.25 million. So I would say that you could probably get him for $7.5 million, $8 million maybe for a single season. Do you think it's worth it? He'll be 34 years old. Let's look at his stats this year. How did he do? Well, he had 6 sacks, 39 tackles, and 2 forced fumbles. I mean, not a terrible year. He played in 16 games, put up 56% of the snap load, 616 snaps. I mean, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. Let me see something, though. Okay, so the Chargers run... Chargers run. I can't tell. I'm trying to figure out if they're running a 3-4 or 4-3. Oh, come on. Well, not one picture is going to do it for me. It's not showing me. So I guess it's more of a 4-3, and then McDonald switched it up to a 3-4. Personnel wise, it made more sense to run a 4-3. Does anybody know if they're running a 3-4? Because it looks like it's a 3-4. But their base was a 4-3. Either way, the only reason why I'm even bringing this up is just because of the sack numbers for Khalil Mack. 6 sacks. If he's in a 3-4, it makes more sense because he's going to have more opportunity to rush the quarterback. In a 4-3, you're not going to have as many opportunities to rush the quarterback. So unless that's his only job, and at 34 years old, is he really going to be able to keep pace with having to drop in coverage? I don't have his PFF grades in front of me right now, but let me just take a look. And I know PFF is not the end-all, be-all. It just gives me an idea of what somebody else is looking at. I'd have to go watch the tape. And I haven't watched any tape on Khalil Mack at all. He's just not somebody that I've looked at this year. I mean, overall, his stats look really good as far as his PFF grades. He's a 90.4 overall grade. He had a 79.9 pass rush grade, 88 run defense grade. I mean, those are phenomenal. But again, if it's a 3-4 defense, it's a little bit different than, a 4-3. I just want to see his coverage grade. I don't see his coverage grade. PFF changed. Their whole site looks different now for these independent or individual views on stats. It's totally different now. All right, where is his coverage grade? Oh my God, it doesn't exist here. Where is it? Well, anyway, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole. As long as his coverage grade is good, great. We'll see what happens next year. He's 6'3", 269. My prototypical edge rusher is 6'4", 275. That's to me is like a perfect size. So he's almost there. But Mack has obviously been an incredible player throughout his history in the NFL. Catching him at the last season or two of his career at a cheap rate. I mean, I think if anything, it's going to give you a nice veteran mentor on the team that could blend well with Aiden and Alex and Jack and give you some opportunity. He really could. Mr. Detroit City says thoughts on Seth Ryan getting promoted to wide receivers coach, and Rex's pops coming in as the defensive coordinator. I don't know. I don't know enough about Seth Ryan. I don't even know what he's been doing in Detroit, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got one of the best mentors with his father being able to, help him out. But he's apparently been the assistant wide receivers coach to Antoine Randall L. since 2021. In 2022, let's see here. He was the assistant wide receivers coach ever since Anthony Lynn was fired. So, I mean, there's an opportunity that he gets promoted to wide receivers coach. I really don't know anything about the guy. I really don't. I don't know anything about his history, but we can find out. So let's see here. Seth Ryan joined the Lions as the team's assistant wide receivers coach in 2021. He was previously with the Los Angeles Chargers for 4 seasons, where he served as a coaching intern from 2017 to 28. So he's raw. He's still very raw. He was an intern for 3-4 seasons, and now he's been in Detroit for 4 seasons as an actual assistant coach. Now, under Ryan's guidance in 23, Amon-Ra St. Brown put together a memorable season as he became just the 3rd Lions wide receiver since the merger to be named first team AP All-Pro among all NFL players in 2023. Now, was that really Ryan's guidance, or was that Antoine Randall L's guidance? I mean, he was the assistant wide receivers coach. He wasn't the wide receivers coach. Okay? This is on the Lions website, by the way. He says, Brown, no, I'm not even going to go into those stats. So with Ryan's assistance, the Lions receiving corps ranked 5th among all NFL wide receiver units in receiving yards, 5th in receiving yards after the catch, and 5th in receiving yards after contact, and 6th in receiving first downs in 2023, by the way. So, I mean, he's got history with us, right? He knows these guys. He knows the team. He doesn't have to worry about what Ben Johnson likes because he's no longer there. So, I mean, yeah, I'd say there's good possibility. I just don't know enough about the guy. Let's see here. Keep Crushing says on the other side of Hutch, he would do just fine. He still needs double teamed. Or still gets double teamed, talking about Khalil Mack. What did I miss about salty takes? What did I miss? Some dude created an account and then waited 5 minutes to troll. What did I miss? Where's it at? Did you guys hear I stole your wide receiver? Oh, okay. I see it. Just boot the dude. It's probably Broski. You know, poor Broski is, I mean, not only does he owe Eric tickets, he never owned up to it. That just tells you the kind of guy he is. Tour says, yeah, he was doing the whole projection thing, trying to get us to feel insecure as he is. Steve Wilds, per Justin Rogers, he drew up a lot of trick plays. Interesting. How many of you guys subscribe to Justin's blog? Or his website, whatever he's got going on over there. Detroit City says he was a wide receiver on the championship Clemson team. Okay, now I'm gonna go look at his collegiate time. So Seth Ryan, college stats. Let's take a look at this guy. I'm telling you, I really don't know anything about this dude. Okay, he had a total of 5 catches during his career. That's not gonna sell me. I mean, I could have sat on the bench and collected a trophy. You know what I mean? All right. Let me get into a couple more minutes here of Detroit Lions news, and then I got to bounce. Okay, what does this say? Nothing. Okay, so Brad Holmes hinted at bringing back 2 key free agents. I'm not sure what the hell they're talking about here, but let's just take a quick look. Lions general manager Brad Holmes on Carlton Davis. Quote, I thought he played better this year than he did the year before in Tampa. I thought we got what we wanted to get. That's good. I would love to see Carlton come back at this point. Says contract conversations haven't intensified, but sounds like there might be mutual interest. That's great. Eric Woodyard also said that Brad Holmes was impressed with Kevin Zeitler this season. Says they've had conversations with him this offseason, and we will see where that goes. Hank's back, maybe Zeitler will be back. I mean, Zeitler was one of the best this year. Like, literally one of the best in the league. I mean, just incredible. You know, he got to work next to Penei Sewell, and clearly that leveled up his game too. Now we just need Penei Sewell to take his game to the next level next year. I think that Penei is going to come back a different person, man. You could tell that Penei was just pissed off towards the end of the year. He really was. Question for me on Auteur, the JMO trick call. Do you think Ben ever calls that play if he's staying? No, I don't. I really don't. And your next statement was, I think he consciously or subconsciously was giving JMO a go-away gift. Oh, like a going-away gift? Jesus, man. I never thought about it that way. Interesting. Interesting. You know, okay. So Amon-Ra St. Brown said that, and I don't know if I believe this or not. I mean, Amon-Ra could be trying to protect Ben's back, or maybe it'll come out later. But he was trying to say, you know, Ben obviously had it narrowed down to the three teams: Jags, Raiders, Bears. That he still didn't know which team he was going to the Sunday after the game. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I'd like to believe Amon-Ra St. Brown, but, you know, Ben may not have told, you know, Saint the truth. Doesn't mean that Ben didn't know, because Ben was gone the next day. I mean, he must have gotten a call, at midnight? Hey, you're going to be a Bear tomorrow. Okay, cool. And then you're gone? I mean, he was in Chicago pretty quick. So, anyway, it's over now. Now it's time to move on. This is just kind of wrap-up week. You know, we're just going to talk it all out, be done with it. And next week we are going to we're going to start turning our heads towards more free agency, and then obviously some draft stuff. You know, when we look at the schedule that's coming up, free agency is usually first, draft stuff's usually second, but I'm going to try to do both of them together so that we can not just pound the hell out of free agency and then pound the crap out of draft. I want to do a pot shot mock draft 1.0 next week. We're not even going to put any thought into it. We're just going to do it based on the numbers, and we're going to see what the numbers say. Mock 2.0 is where I'm going to dial it in a little bit when I have some more information about these players. So I've got a lot of reading to do, a lot of tape to watch. So that's all for tonight. I appreciate you guys joining me. Again, congratulations to the winners. Cali Lions, please email us at mailbag@rockdon.com. And then the other winner, who was... I have your email. This other one, I have the email. Wilbur or something like that. I have your email. So I'll email you, and hopefully you'll get back to us here soon. So that's it for Rock On Detroit Lions tonight. It's just kind of a random conversation night. Nothing big tonight. We'll get back to it next week. You guys have a great weekend. We'll probably see you in one of the AFC or NFC championship games doing a live stream. So until I do that, or if I decide to do it, I don't know. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.
Tonight, the Lions charge, ready for the fight. No more